Hello everyone and welcome to Electrical Engineering Tutorials. In this tutorial we explain how to compute the step response of the RL circuit. Here's the problem that we want to solve. The electrical circuit consists of the voltage source Vs, that is Vs is the voltage of the voltage source, then a resistance R, switch S, and inductor with the inductance of L. At time t0, the switch was closed. That is, before time t0, the switch was open. Then, at the time t, we close the switch. Our task is to find the voltage and the current in the circuit for t greater than and equal to 0. Let's solve this problem. After we close the switch, the circuit will look like this. Immediately after we close the switch, we will have the current I flowing through the circuit. And here is the direction of the current flow. Let's write the differential equation describing the dynamics of this circuit. Over here we have the voltage Vs. Let's denote the voltage across the terminals of our inductor as V of t. Then let's denote the voltage across the terminals of the resistor R as VR. Obviously, from this circuit, we have that Vs is equal to VR plus V of t. From the Ohm's law, we have that VR is equal to the current through resistor multiplying the resistance. That is, we have I multiplying R. On the other hand, the voltage drop across the inductor is equal to L, and L is the inductance, multiply the first derivative of the current with respect to time. If we substitute these two expressions in this equation, we obtain the ordinary differential equation describing the dynamics of this circuit. That is, we obtain L di over dt plus I multiplying R is equal to Vs. From the control theory perspective, Vs can be seen input to this system, I can be seen as the output. And our goal is to compute the step response of this system. That is, we want to compute the response of the system, which means the time behavior of the current I, when Vs goes from 0 to some final value equal to Vs. For clarity, I wrote again differential equation over here. And let's solve this differential equation. First of all, let's do the following. Let's transform differential equation like this. I will leave the first derivative of current with respect to time on the left-hand side of this equation, and on the right-hand side of the equation, I will have this. Now we can separate the variables. That is, we can write this expression as L di, and we can move this expression in the denominator on the left-hand side. That is, we can type this, Vs minus Ri. Over here, that is on the right-hand side, we will be left with dt. Okay, from here we can do the following. We can simply take out R outside of the expression in the denominator, and as the result, we will obtain this. We will obtain L over R, and then over here we will obtain di, and then here we will have the following. We will have Vs over R multiplying or minus I, and this is equal to dt. This expression can be written obviously like this, di over Vs over R minus I is equal to R over L dt. Here's the last equation once again over here. I wrote it here for clarity. Then we can take the minus sign out of the expression in the denominator, and then these two terms switch places, and we put this minus sign on the right hand side. The next step is to integrate this expression. To integrate this expression, we need to introduce the initial condition. Namely, we will assume that initial value of the current is equal to I0, and I will denote it like this. So let's integrate this expression. First of all, we need to integrate the left-hand side. The integration bounds are from I of 0, which is equal to I0, to some I of t. And then we have this expression. Let's write it down once again. I minus Vs over R. And on the right hand side we have minus R over L, which can get out of the integration operator, and we have from 0 to some time t, and we have dt. Obviously, the integral of di over I minus Vs over R is an ln of this expression in the denominator. You can verify that by computing the first derivative of the resulting expression. So we can write ln of, over here we have I minus Vs over R. Then here we have the bounds. The bounds are from I0 to I of t. And this should be equal to minus R over L. And here we have bounds t from 0 to t. And if we substitute the bounds, we will obtain the following expression. Here is again the expression we just derived, and let's substitute the bounds. So we have ln of I minus Vs over R, if we substitute this first bound, minus ln of I0 minus Vs over R. And on the right hand side we have minus R over L, and upper bound is t, and the lower bound is 0. And that's it. So the expression on the left hand side can be written as a single ln, since we know that the difference of two ln function is ln of something that looks like this. Then I'm going to use these brackets. I will have in the numerator I minus Vs over R, and over here I will have I0 minus Vs over R. And then let's see what do we have on the right hand side. We simply have minus R over L, and I have time t. Next, since the inverse function of ln is the exponential function, we obtain the following expression. We obtain I minus Vs over R divided by I0 minus Vs over R becomes e to the power minus R over Lt. Here's the last expression once again, and now if we multiply everything together, we will obtain I minus Vs over R is equal to, in parentheses we will have I0 minus Vs over R multiplying e to the power minus R over Lt. And finally, the expression of current as a function of time is Vs over R plus, over here we will have I0 minus Vs over R multiplying e to the power minus R over Lt. The voltage can simply be obtained by multiplying I of t by either resistance, and we can obtain either the voltage across this one, that is across the resistor, or if you want to obtain the voltage over the inductor, we will simply need to use the formula that V is L di over dt. Okay, so that's easy. The main expression is this one. Let's now analyze the accuracy of this expression, and let's see if this expression makes sense. For that purpose, let's assume that I of 0 is equal to 0. And consequently, if I of 0 is equal to 0, we obtain this expression. I of t is equal to Vs over R, and then over here we will obtain. Here we will have 0, and actually this will become minus sign out, minus Vs over R e to the power minus R over Lt. Let's now analyze what happens when t goes to infinity. When t goes to infinity, this whole expression over here goes to 0. This is because the exponential function, the negative exponential function, or the exponential function with the negative exponent goes to 0 as time goes to 0. So this will go to 0 and we are left with this expression. That is, the current in infinity is Vs over R. Does this make sense? Well, let's see over here. At steady state, that is after the transient, the current will go to the constant value, obviously. Now, if the current is constant, here we will have that the voltage V across the inductor, which is given by this equation, will go to 0. That is, when t goes to infinity, since the current goes to the constant value, this whole thing will go basically to 0. That is, we will have that the voltage across the inductor will go to 0. This means that the potential of this point will be equal to potential over this point, and this will be just a short circuit. Consequently, at infinity, we will just have a resistor, or actually we'll have the resistor and the source, and according to the Ohm's law, we will have that the current is equal to Vs over R in the steady state for t when t goes to infinity. And that's precisely the expression we just obtained. Finally, let's sketch the function describing the current as the function of time. For that purpose, I'm going to draw x and y axis. Here is on the x-axis I will have the time, and on the y-axis I will have the current as a function of time. Let's see what happens when time is 0. When time is 0, this expression over here, that is this term here, becomes 1. And consequently I will have Vs over R minus Vs over R, and I will have 0. That is, I'm starting with 0. And this is consistent with the assumption that initial value of the current is equal to 0. Let's see what happens when I go to infinity. When I go to infinity, this term approaches 0 over here, and consequently Vs over R multiplying this term is 0, and consequently I approach Vs over R, and that's what we have seen. That is, I will have an asymptote, and the value of this asymptote will be Vs over R. And this is a first order response. That is, I will have a function that looks like this. This function will exponentially approach this asymptote, and that's it. Okay, that's all for today, and thanks for watching.